When renovating a home, you don't really think about replacing your attic ladders because they aren't used very much. However, the old attic ladders in our home were very unstable. So I replaced the one in our very messy garage with this wooden attic ladder and the one in our hallway with a metal attic ladder. In this video, I'm going to compare the two in terms of ease of installation, price, and quality. I received both these ladders from Facro and roofingforus.com in exchange for an unpaid and unbiased review. Let's start with the scissor-style metal attic ladder from Facro. I picked a 25-inch by 54-inch ladder because that size was closest to the existing rough opening. You can find several other sizes from 22.5 inches to 30 inches wide. It arrived well packaged with all the parts clearly labeled and an easy-to-follow instruction booklet. All I needed were 3-inch construction screws and some basic tools. My old wooden attic ladder was pretty wobbly and also opened right in front of ducts. I had to crawl underneath them just to be able to access the attic. I decided to install the new attic ladder the other way around so that it opened up to free space. I first removed the outside trim with the pry bar. I then removed the old ladder piece by piece. Be careful of the springs at the hinge. They are pulled really tight and can snap back when removed. The existing opening was larger than I needed, so I cut down some 2x6 pine studs with a miter saw. I screwed them into the roof joists with 3-inch construction screws. The rough opening was now 25 inches by 54 inches and it was ready for the new attic ladder, or so I thought. This metal attic ladder has a white trim that needed to be attached before installation. I screwed these small plastic pieces on the 4 corners and then screwed on the metal trim. The trim looks beautiful, but it meant that I had to screw in drywall, tape and mud the joints first. I put up a piece of polyiso over the opening because the mud had to dry overnight. The next day, I sanded the mud, textured and painted it to match the surrounding drywall. I was annoyed at the time because I wanted to install the ladder and close up the giant hole in my ceiling, but in hindsight, it wasn't a bad thing. There are no exposed screws or nail heads on the trim, and I didn't need to paint it. Installing the ladder was tricky because we didn't have much space to maneuver around the narrow hallway. Even after a lot of planning, we had a couple of failed attempts. Finally, we devised a plan that actually worked. We lifted the attic ladder over our heads, sat one end on another ladder, and then held the other end in place.
Excellent, stop.
Meanwhile, I climbed up the attic ladder in our garage, crawled through the attic, and secured this metal ladder from the top. It had metal plates on the edges that connected to threaded rods and a metal piece that straddled the wood joists. To lift the ladder up and level it, I turned the bolt on the threaded rod. This was probably my favorite part of the ladder. It made installation so simple, I didn't have to worry about holding the ladder underneath while trying to level it. Once it was set in place, I secured it to the wood studs and joists with construction screws. Since the ladder was too long for our 8-foot space, I removed one step by simply unbolting it. You can add steps in the same way if the ladder is too short. The S-shaped steps have an anti-slip design. They also serve as handrails when climbing. Plastic wheels on the bottom prevent the floor from being scratched. The ladder has an R value of 5.2 and can hold 350 pounds. This ladder costs $1,106 on the Roofing for US website. It's one of the more expensive attic ladders, but I think the cost is justified given the high quality of the product. The powder-coated steel seems very durable, and I doubt it will need to be replaced again. I had 3 issues with this metal attic ladder. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of the scissor-style steps. The weight of the attic ladder is unevenly distributed because all the stairs are folded up on one end. The second issue is the narrow width of the stairs. It's fine for me, but it might be too narrow for others. The last issue I had was with the MDF hatch. After installing the ladder, I found a large visible crack in the paint. I might have to sand it down and paint the entire surface to cover it up. Now let's move on to this fire-rated wooden attic ladder I installed in my garage. This is also a Facro ladder and it measures 25 inches by 54 inches. Just like with the other metal attic ladder, this one is also available in different sizes from 22.5 inches to 30 inches wide. The old ladder was unsteady and frequently jammed when it was being closed. I removed the old attic ladder and added a couple of 2x6 studs to reduce the opening to 25 inches by 54 inches. Once I removed the packaging on the new ladder, I installed the springs and attached the metal arms together. Unlike with the metal attic ladder, I didn't need to install a trim first, so I can deal with the gaps in the drywall, texturing and painting later. This attic ladder didn't have those ingenious metal brackets on the corners. I was supposed to install supports across the joists in my attic and then use a rope to lift this ladder up in place. Now I didn't have a rope, so I used another method that I would not recommend. We screwed in a couple of studs into the bottom of the ceiling and rested the ladder on them. I climbed up the other attic ladder, crawled to this one and secured it with construction screws. Again, I would not recommend this method. You should follow the manufacturer's instructions. The ladder was too long for this 8-foot space, so I shortened it by cutting through the wood with a jigsaw. The steps have an anti-slip design. It also has a handrail for extra support when climbing. Rubber feet prevent scratching and movement. The ladder has an R value of 9.5 because insulation is sandwiched in the hatch, and it can hold 300 pounds. It has a gasket that expands under extreme heat, so it's certified for 43 minutes of fire resistance. This wooden attic ladder costs $1,018 on the Roofing for US website. The product is very durable and it's easy to open up and store away. The stairs on this wooden ladder are a bit wider than the other one, but I had the same issue with the cracked MDF panel. This is very disappointing. So let's summarize the differences between the two. The 25-inch by 54-inch metal ladder costs $1,106 and the 25-inch by 54-inch wooden ladder costs $1,018. Their R values are 5.2 and 9.5 and they can carry 350 pounds and 300 pounds respectively. The metal ladder isn't fire rated, but installing it was much easier. Adjusting the length of the steps was also easier. In conclusion, both the ladders are great, but since they're so similar in price, I'd recommend the metal attic ladder. I like not having a string hanging down from the ceiling to open the ladder. It comes with this tool that hooks into the handle. The stairs also hook in place really easily. I try to be pretty thorough on the features of both these ladders, but if you have any questions, leave me a comment below. I'll link both of them in the description and I'll link my Patreon page. If you can support me, I'd really appreciate it. A big thank you to everyone already supporting me. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe button, and the notification bell too. Thanks for watching. See ya.